Well, I always said that I'm a doctor, and whether you're black, white, or whatever, if you're a good doctor, that's great. As a black man, I am proud to be a doctor because then I can serve my community, which is what my purpose was back when I was in college. I actually have two specialties in medicine. One is nephrology, which is the study of kidney disease, and the other is clinical lipidology, which is the study of cholesterol and fats and atherosclerosis. Growing up, I was not encouraged by my teachers to go into medicine, even though I was an outstanding student in science. They said with my intellect, I could be a top-notch medical technician. If it wasn't for Dr. Alonzo Sherman, if I didn't meet him, I probably would not have gone to medical school.
How long have you been at Downstate?
This would be my 43rd year. I started as an attending physician in 1984, and I did 2 years of fellowship prior to that. Most of the patients I see, I know where I ask them where they live in Brooklyn, I know where they live, but I'm asking them to tell me their story. And I do that to put them at ease and also to show the young doctors around me that they not look at the patient as a case of pathology, but understand that the patient is a person who happens to be sick. Going to medical school, one of the concerns that we had was that we were granted interviews, but most of us were too broke to be able to travel. My friend and I, and a few other people, we started the National Black Science Student Organization. One of the things that we did with that organization, which involved pre-med students in the tri-state area, was to have an annual convention. The purpose of that convention was to have the medical schools send representatives to us, to interview us in New York. And that's how I got my first interview for medicine. My parents are immigrants from Jamaica. I grew up in Halsey Street in Bedford-Stuyvesant, the 300 block of Halsey Street. And it was fabulous. If I had to do it all over again, I would grow up on that same block. I was actually born at Presbyterian Hospital, but my folks moved to Bed-Stuy when I was 2 weeks old. My father, my brothers, they were in the moving truck. My sister, my mother, and I were on the subway. And so we were traveling on the A train. I didn't have a name at the time. My father wanted to name me Lucian, and he got considerable pushback from my mother and my sister. So the A train stopped at Clinton in Washington. And my sister looked up and saw the sign and said, "Ma, let's name him Clinton." And they told my father, and he went along with it. So that's how I got my name. You have to understand, during the early 60s, the black community was engaged in civil rights, and everyone sort of looked after each other. And because of segregation, we all lived together. War in Vietnam, campus unrest, Nation of Islam, Black Panthers, not to mention the 5 assassinations, starting with Medgar Evers, John Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Robert Kennedy. My hobbies are collecting art by African Americans. I also collect jazz albums, and I also collect vintage baseball equipment. I think we should celebrate Black history every day. I think to limit it to 1 month is to, I think, take away from it in a way.